You stand at the threshold of infinite possibility, and you feel fear. What if the universe isn't a cold machine but a living mirror, and you are the reflection? Imagine a cosmic black hole, devouring light, yet you pass by untouched, because you've shifted the code of creation. Your every thought and emotion, a wave in a quantum sea, collapsing into the world you live. Today I'll show you why the greatest monster in the universe cannot harm you when you understand the field you're part of. And how you can harness that field right now to step beyond fear into power. We are living in extraordinary times. On one hand, science reveals realities far beyond our grandparents' models. On the other, our inner world remains shackled by fear, scarcity, and the sense of being powerless. We fear failure, we fear rejection, we fear the unknown, and we act accordingly. We hustle, grind, push. But we still feel like we're orbiting a cosmic abyss, an invisible black hole of limitation pulling us inward. Let's consider the problem. We operate in a three-dimensional paradigm. Cause leads to effect. Time is linear. Reality is fixed. If I do X, I get Y. You've mastered this logic in school, at work, in society's systems. Yet when it comes to your heart's deepest desire, love, purpose, health, abundance, this model fails. You strive, you try harder, you sacrifice. And you're still stuck. Why? Because you're using a physical model to create a non-physical outcome. Your inner world remains unaddressed, beliefs, emotions, identity. You project into the world what you carry within. Take the story of Emily, a New York marketer. She had it all, a high salary, a designer apartment, friends who envied her lifestyle. But inside, she wrestled with emptiness. In board meetings, she smiled. At home, she collapsed. She tried seeking the next promotion, the next title, the next win. But one October night, after a glass of wine alone, she realized she was orbiting something invisible yet powerful, the gravity of her own story of unworthiness. She felt as though she were hurtling toward a cosmic event horizon, like a black hole of self-doubt. She asked, "Why haven't I arrived yet?" The answer, she was chasing from the outside in, while the universe operates from the inside out. Here's the quantum spiritual twist: at the subatomic level, everything is wave, possibility, superposition, until observed. In quantum physics, there is no fixed material until the observer interacts. In spiritual traditions, consciousness, vibration, and intention precede matter. So the problem isn't only external, it's internal. You are sending an unobserved wave of potential that never collapses into a form you consciously choose. What happens when you don't address this? You feel stuck. Possibly like you're being pulled into a black hole of your own making, heavy stories, limiting beliefs, old trauma, fear of the unknown. The more you push, the more inert you feel. Because the quantum field responds not only to action, but to vibration, thought plus feeling plus being. Your electromagnetic field is always communicating with the quantum field. Your thoughts and emotions right now are manifesting your current reality. Source paraphrased, and yet, most of us are living from narrow identity, focusing on outcomes, ignoring energy. The result, we orbit rather than emerge. We wait for someday instead of living now. We feel unsafe in the expansiveness of possibility, because our internal signals aren't tuned. Enter the metaphor. I liken it to a supermassive black hole in the center of life, a massive gravity that devours light and hope. But here's the truth: you are not the mass being pulled in. You are the observer, the signal generator, the quantum creator. When you shift your internal vibration, the black hole loses its power. This is the problem in its fullest form, a mismatch between the way you believe the universe works, mechanical, external, fixed, and the way quantum spiritual reality actually works, vibrational, internal, fluid. Until you understand this, you will feel powerless. But when you do, you begin to move from fear to freedom, from reaction to creation. And then comes the shift. The moment when you stop being victim of the outer world and realize you're the creator of your experience. The discovery is both radical and simple: your internal world, your consciousness, thought patterns, emotions, vibration, is the quantum field you feed. The outer world is the reflection. When you change the source, the mirror changes. Quantum physics offers us the language. For example, superposition, particles existing in multiple states simultaneously until observed. The observer effect suggests the act of observation influences outcome. What does this mean spiritually? It means your consciousness matters. Your intention matters. Your vibration matters. The wave of potential is there, you collapse it into the reality you live by the signal you emit. Spiritual traditions long taught that you aren't separate from the universe, you are part of it. Consciousness is not a byproduct, it is primary. These two maps come together in the discovery, that you're the observer and the observed, the creator and the creation. Back to Emily. After the moment of insight, she began meditating each morning. She asked, "What would I feel like if my life reflected my highest vision?" She didn't focus on how she would get there, it felt too heavy. Instead she focused on vibration, joy, ease, presence. Then she took tiny aligned actions, went for early morning walks, switched off her phone for an hour, wrote a letter as though she already lived that life. Within weeks small miracles happened. She met a mentor at a cafe conversation, she was asked to speak at a conference, a new idea emerged that felt alive. The field responded, not because she pushed harder, but because her signal got coherent. Here are the key principles in her discovery. 1. You cannot manifest what you don't feel. You might think, "I want abundance." But inside you believe scarcity. That mismatch creates a scrambled signal. The quantum spiritual model says, your inner state is your outer reality. 2. The how is not your job is to clear the signal and let the field do the rest. In quantum physics your attention matters, how the collapse happens is part of the field's intelligence. Spirituality calls this surrender. 3. You already are the version of you that lives your vision. The method is not just to get somewhere, it's to be the someone you already are. Quantum metaphors refer to the wave collapsing into the particle, the version of reality you observe. Your vibration acts like the collapse. 4. Everything is interconnected. Quantum entanglement shows particles being correlated across distances. Spiritual traditions speak of oneness. When you shift your state you shift the field around you. This discovery is transformative because it changes the paradigm from chasing external fixes to mastering internal vibration. It reveals that the black hole you feared isn't out there, it's inside the orbit of your beliefs, habits, identity. When you shift your signal, you break that orbit. You tap into the quantum sea of possibility. Your body, your mind, your energy, become instruments of creation. You step from being subject to gravity into being agent of gravity. You realize you're safe, not because nothing can happen to you, but because you're aligned with the field of creation instead of resisting it. The discovery arms you with freedom, and with responsibility. Now that you've seen the problem, and glimpsed the discovery, you're ready for the method. The map. The practical path to manifesting quantum spiritual transformation. Below is a structured process blending science and soul, so you can begin now. Step 1. Clarify your intent and vibration. Choose one area of your life you want to transform: money, relationship, health, purpose. Write down what you want in detail, as if it's already real. Then ask, how would I feel if this were true right now? Choose 3 to 5 emotions: joy, freedom, aliveness, trust. The quantum spiritual key: align your wave, intention, with your feeling, vibration. Without feeling, your wave remains diffuse, the field can't collapse it. Exercise: each morning for 5 minutes, visualize your life scene in vivid detail, sights, sounds, feelings. Then place your hand on your heart, breathe, and say, I am living this now. Stay until you sense at least one of the chosen emotions in your body. Step 2. Align thought, feeling, action into coherence. Many people say, "I want success," but feel unworthy. Their body language, tone, energy reflect lack. That mismatch scrambles the field. The field doesn't respond to words alone, it responds to signal. Visible in quantum metaphors, the observer's state matters. In spiritual practice, your being matters. Exercise. For one full day, monitor your internal state. Every time you catch a thought or emotion rooted in fear, scarcity, or doubt, pause. Then ask, what is the opposite feeling right now? Choose that as your vibration. Then take one small aligned action, send a simple text, give yourself a mini treat, pick up your journal. Anchor the feeling in your body and act from it. Step 3. Surrender the how and trust the field. Your job isn't to micromanage how all this will unfold, the field of possibilities will deliver in ways you couldn't imagine. Quantum physics shows that measurement collapses many potentials into one actual. The how emerges from the field. Spiritual traditions call this surrender, trust, letting go. Exercise. At the end of each week, write a short gratitude letter to the universe, thank you for. As though you already have it. Then close the file, burn or recycle it, and drop the monitoring. Let your signal sit in the field without constant checking. Step 4. Embody your next version now. You cannot wait for the outer to change to feel new. Instead, become the version of you that lives that desire. In quantum metaphor, collapse into the state you want. Your vibration, posture, tone, identity must match. Exercise. Choose 1 hour each day to act as if you are that version. How do you talk? How do you sit? How do you treat others? How do you wake up? Write a journal entry in first person, I live this. I am that. Feel the energy behind your identity. Step 5. Sustain momentum and watch the field. Even a strong quantum signal needs consistency. You must prevent competing signals, fear, doubt, confusion, from overriding your alignment. Some part of you will test, does this really work? Exercise. Create a short daily ritual, 5-minute visualization plus 2 minutes heart feeling plus 2 minutes aligned action. At the end of each week, review, how did I feel? What shifts showed up externally? What belief changed? Adjust your next week accordingly. By following this method you are using the principles of quantum spiritual manifestation, intention, vibration, alignment, surrender, embodiment, momentum. You are bridging science and the soul. The universe is no longer a massive object out there, it's a living field of you. Let's shift from theory into lived experience. The transformation isn't instantaneous, but when it happens, you feel it. You don't just change your life, you become changed. Let me tell you the story of James, a firefighter from Chicago. For years he felt stuck under the weight, life-saving service, adrenaline rush, but no sense of direction beyond duty. He didn't want to retire into emptiness. He applied the method. He clarified his next version, calm, inspired leader who helps others ignite their purpose. He chose feelings, impact, peace, clarity. He began the visualization and daily ritual. He surrendered the timeline. He embodied the role, at work. He asked one new question each day, how can I serve with deeper presence? Within 4 months, something shifted, his team responded differently. A colleague invited him to deliver a leadership talk. He began teaching younger recruits not just firefighting, but purpose and presence. Internally, he no longer felt the gravity of his old identity. Externally, the world mirrored it back. This transformation unfolds in layers. 1. Inner liberation. You release the heavy gravity of past stories. You release the belief, I'm stuck, I'm too late, I'm unworthy. You realize, the black hole you orbited wasn't out there, it was your own story. You step out. You feel the weight lift. 2. Energetic elevation, you move from contraction to expansion. Your signal changes. You feel lighter, more expansive, more alive. You stand differently. You operate differently. Others sense it. 3. External realignment. Because you changed inside, life changes outside. Opportunities you never saw show up. Conversations you feared become connected. The field responds to your coherence. It doesn't always look how you expected, but it works. 4. Identity rebirth. You no longer say, when I have X, then I'll be Y. Instead you say, I am Y now. The quantum field doesn't collapse into what you might become, it collapses into who you are being now. Your identity becomes your signal. 5. Contribution emerges. With transformation comes mission. You realize, you're not just manifesting for you, you're stepping into a role that helps others. When you vibrate at a higher frequency, you don't just change your world, you shift the collective field. And here's the pivotal truth: when you operate from this transformed state, you are safe, even in the presence of the greatest forces. Picture a supermassive black hole, devouring stars, warping space. If you are a mass, you would be pulled in. You realize you aren't separate, you're entangled. Your life becomes alive with potential. And you step into it. Now we arrive at the mission. Because transformation isn't the end, it's the beginning of something greater. Once you've shifted your vibration, once you've seen the quantum spiritual intersection, you're called to a mission, to be the living proof and to lift the collective vibration. Mission Part 1: Embody infinite possibility. When you hold your signal strong, you become a beacon. Others around you feel it even if they don't consciously know it. Your life becomes proof that quantum spiritual alignment works. You show up differently, committed, clear, expansive. The gravity of old paradigms no longer holds you. You operate from a new baseline, possibility. Your mission is to walk this baseline and show it is real. Mission Part 2: Serve the field. Manifestation isn't just about personal gain, it's about collective coherence. The quantum field is interconnected. Your vibration influences not only you but the field around you. When you align with love, purpose, abundance, you implicitly invite others to align. Spiritual traditions speak of interconnected souls, quantum metaphors speak of entanglement. Your mission: help others stop orbiting, start creating. Mission Part 3: Teach the method. You don't need to be a coach to serve. Every conversation you have, every story you share, every life you touch becomes part of your ripple effect. You learn the 5-step method: clarify, align, surrender, embody, sustain. Share it. Live it. When you do, you offer a path others can follow, not from dogma, but from lived experience. Mission Part 4: Expand consciousness. We stand at a turning point. Old models of fear, scarcity, separation are breaking. The frontier now is consciousness plus quantum. Your mission is to explore it, live it, pioneer it. When you say, I choose expansion, I choose unity, I choose creation, you shift culture. You help humanity remember we are safe, powerful, connected. Mission Part 5: Leave a legacy of alignment. This mission spans generations. Your children, your community, your sphere of influence will inherit the vibration you anchor. When you operate from presence, alignment, purpose, you sow seeds of coherence. Your legacy isn't just what you build, it's the frequency you embed in the field. Let me give a final story. Maria, a former corporate lawyer, felt trapped by the salary and suits. She applied the method, clarified her next version as wise guide helping women awaken their power, chose feelings of service and freedom, surrendered the timeline, embodied the role by volunteering and mentoring. 2 years later she launched a nonprofit. But more than that, she operates from a different identity. She isn't in fear of the black hole of burnout anymore. She is aligned, coherent, creating. Her mission: ensure other women don't orbit their own gravity wells. She is safe, and she teaches safety. Your mission is similar: be safe, become safe, serve through your safety. Because when you are safe in the quantum field of infinite possibility, you can stand at the edge of what seems impossible, and say, I am the signal. You can transform not only your life but the narrative of the field. If this message hit a resonant chord in you, here's your action right now: choose one area of your life you're ready to transform. Use the 5-step method this week: clarify your intent, feel the emotion, align your action, surrender the how, embody the version of you. Then keep a journal every day, 1 page, my intention, how I feel, 1 aligned action, what I release. At the end of 7 days, share your experience, either in the comments below, via a friend, or on social media. If you're ready to deepen this journey, I invite you to download the free workbook linked in the description: guided meditations, visualizations, alignment prompts designed to help you master quantum/spiritual manifestation. Remember, the black holes of fear and limitation. They exist only in outdated models of reality. In the quantum spiritual field, you are safe. You are powerful. You are a creator. Stand up. Radiate your alignment. Let the universe respond. If you found this valuable, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, share this video with someone who's orbiting a gravity well of fear and needs to break free. Together we'll shift the field, become the signal, and create lives of meaning, purpose, and quantum spiritual freedom. Thank you for showing up. See you in the next video.